Hi, how's it going? So I've been in a weird mood for the past few days, and I apologize if these are a little more rambly than usual. I'm trying to pull it together and get a little more on point, as it were. But one thing, a couple of things actually. First, yesterday I talked about doing NaNoWriMo, and it seems like a number of people have suggested that yes, that would be a good idea for me to do. So I've begun planning out how I want to do it. It's October 19th as of this recording, which is after midnight, so you might call it October 18th, but whatever. I'm a little past midway through the month, so preparation is a thing that helps with completion. I have to decide which of the 3 or 4 ideas I want to do, and start sort of at least giving it a rough outline of beginning, middle, and end, so it's not a complete, waste of my time. So, that's something I'm working on. Gaming. I have been playing a lot of Star Realms lately. I joined the Google Plus community for Star Realms, and for the record, Google Plus, my social network of choice. I recognize that it often gets that was a failure, except that, there are millions and millions of people still using it, so not a failure, really. And I find it a much better place than Facebook, for the record. That said, the Google Plus community for Star Realms, I got into that, and I started playing more Star Realms, and I had already been playing a fair amount. I really like that game. The card mechanics are interesting. I suspect that the game works better in digital than it does in person, just because there is a certain amount of math involved, and having the computer keep track of that for you is probably easier. That said, I've talked to people who've played it in person, and they love playing it in person, so I look forward to that. Trying to play it in person. I also grabbed hold of the version of Sentinels of the Multiverse that is now out on Android. So I'm looking forward to that. I played one session and lost, so it is certainly not on easy mode by any stretch of the imagination. But it is an interesting game, and I'm looking forward to digging into it and seeing what's working and what's not working in it, and that may influence some of my design choices. Because apparently, somewhere along the way, when I was putting together my game, I started realizing that it was going to be card-based mechanics. So, looking at other games that use card-based mechanics, probably not a bad choice. Let's see. Beyond that, I just finished watching the last of the Beware the Batman cartoon, and I think that it's a shame that there won't be any more of that, because actually I kind of liked it. The animation style takes some getting used to, because it's odd choices, animation style-wise. It's not necessarily bad, but they take getting used to, and that's not usually something you want in a show, because you don't want them to look at it and go, wow, it's going to take a while to get used to. You want them to look at it and go, wow, that's awesome, or not notice. Those are the two options you want. You don't want, that's going to take getting used to. That said, once I did get used to the animation style, the storytelling was solid. They had a good show going there. And they did it without using some of the classic Batman stuff. There's no Robin. Oh, No Robin. No Joker. Two-Face only gets suggested at towards the end of the show. The Outsiders show up, sort of form up, and there are a couple other things. But overall, they avoid a lot of the usual, early Batman stuff and go for a different direction. And I found that interesting. Instead of a Robin, they had Katana as part of his makeup, and I think that's an interesting choice. It's an interesting way of... anytime you do a show of a comic property, you're going to reimagine the origins of some of the characters, you're going to sort of redefine things, and you're just going to use these certain touchstones throughout to sort of ground it in the original concept. But you're going to mix things up. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a good example of that. They mix things up and what have you. And this actually ties back to some of my thoughts on superhero games. Because I was thinking, because the usual approach to doing a Marvel superhero game or a DC superhero game is you're playing in that universe as it stands. Or Smallville's another good example. You're playing in that universe with the understanding that you're playing in that universe as it exists. It might be interesting to try a campaign where you're playing in that universe redefined. You still have those touchstones, those named things, but, say you're playing a Batman game where somebody's playing Batman, but instead of having a Robin, they have a Nightwing that never was Robin before. That can work. And sort of taking those touchstone items of the established universe and sort of rearranging them slightly to make them more appealing towards playing in a game setting. One of the inherent flaws with superhero games in particular, although the other established settings have this problem as well, is there is a lot of lore, so much so that it gets daunting. And you have the people who don't want the things to change. They don't want them to change in the comics. Why would they want them to change in the game? So, starting fresh with a sort of, here are the main components, but we're starting over from the beginning and doing some of the touchstone stories, but in different orders or different different sort of setups using those same touchstones could be for an interesting game. Just going to put that out there if you ever find yourself thinking about doing it. And you could do it with other things. Do a Lord of the Rings style campaign, but rearrange the events a little. You've still got those same touchstones, but now there's room for your characters who are not, Aragorn or, the Hobbits or, Gimli or what have you, to step into those roles. Just an idea. I'm going to wrap it up here because I'm coming up on 10 minutes. But those are the ideas that were popping around in my head tonight. I hope to actually have something a little more organized tomorrow. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh yeah, and subscribe and all that stuff. And like and comment and maybe set fire to something. Did I say that last one out loud?